Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I recently did a video on how to find your purpose, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the link in the description below. In that video, we talked about defining your values, and I just kind of skimmed over it because I wanted to make that video as efficient as possible, but I wanted to dive a little deeper into how to find your values. So I'm going to do that now in this video. Let's get started. So in the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, he asks you to do a funeral exercise. Now, in this exercise, he asks you to pretend like you're going to a funeral, and that funeral is your own. There are going to be speakers at the funeral. There's going to be one member from your family, one friend, one coworker, and one person from an organization that you're involved with that's going to speak about you at your funeral. And the exercise is for you to write what you want those people to say about you. And in writing what you want those people to say about you will determine what you value. Now we're going to talk about what I did. And this is all very personal, right? So yours is going to be different than mine, but we're just going to go through what I did, and hopefully you guys can get value from watching me go through this exercise. So for family, what I wrote is I would want them to say that he loved me, he was always there for me, he knew what I needed before I needed it. For a friend, I wrote, did so many cool things, always down to try something new, open-minded, there for me if I ever needed him. For a coworker, I wrote, efficient, looking to bring value to others. For organization, I wrote, passionate, consistent, very knowledgeable, believed in the cause, and shared it with others. So now the goal is to turn what I wrote down above into values. So the first 2 values here, proactive and begin with the end in mind, Stephen Covey talks about it in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and these 2 are the foundation to everything. So proactive means that you take responsibility for your life. Begin with the end in mind means you write your own story, right? You go down the path that you want to go down, not the path that other people have drawn for you. First, we need to take responsibility for our own lives. Second, we write our story, right? These 2 are our values are foundational, right? And I think they should be in everyone's value set. But moving forward, the rest of them are going to be very personalized. So these are for me. Be the learner. Now, when talking about the rest of the values that I wrote, I tried to look at what was up top here and dig as deep as I could to find the base value that was being described. A really good way to think about this is from an interview with Firas Zahabi and Tom Bilyeu. And I'll leave that link in the description below. It's a really cool interview. But Tom Bilyeu's interviewer, and he asked Firas Zahabi, who is one of the best MMA coaches in the world, he asked him, if you were paralyzed, would you keep coaching MMA? And Firas's answer was no, he wouldn't keep coaching MMA. That's not the answer I expected him to give. It's not the answer that Tom Bilyeu was expecting. But what Firas said is that the thing that truly drives him is solving problems. That's the thing that he truly values. And right now, he's showing to express that through MMA. But don't get confused about how I'm showing my values on the surface. My true value is solving problems, right? So what I try to do is dig past the surface and get to what's on the bottom, right, for these values. So when looking at the be the learner value, to me, that means that you're always striving to improve. You're always trying to learn. I believe that is reflected in things like he did so many cool things. He's always down to try something new. He's open-minded. He's efficient. He's consistent. He's very knowledgeable. All of these things require you to have a mindset of growth, a mindset of knowledge acquisition. So that is why I wrote be the learner as my 3rd value. Now moving on, flexibility. To me, flexibility means that you can do anything you want whenever you want, and that you are focused on longevity. A lot of people, that means financial, right? Like a lot of people are reliant on jobs that force them to be in the office from 9 to 5. You can't always be there for people because you rely on the job. And that's where I am now in my life, but the goal is to move towards a flexible lifestyle where we're less reliant financially on a job or anything else, and we can do what we want when we want with our lives. And that will allow us to be there for our family, our friends, and it will allow us to be consistent with organizations that we're involved with, and it will lead naturally to knowing more. And as far as longevity, it's just being able to do these things for as long as possible, right? Which will naturally lead to more knowledge and being able to use that knowledge once we get it. So that's why I wrote flexibility as one of my values. Now, fifth, we have listen intently. That corresponds to the above. Love, you listen to people, you show them how much you care about them, right? That you understand them, that you're able to put yourselves in their shoes, and you're looking to help wherever you can. And that, as you can see, is pretty much what I want everyone to say about me, right? That I was there for them and that I understood them. And that comes from listening. So that's why I wrote listening as one of my values. Now, the last value I wrote was focus on my circle of influence. And this I wrote because I wanted to make sure that I was focusing on the things that I can change. So a quote that is often said is tend to the part of the garden that you can reach. And what this comes back to is listening. Again, I'm not saying I'm here yet. I'm trying to get here. This is the goal, right? Thing I'm striving for is to listen to people, to understand what they're going through, and then to help them where I'm able to influence them, right? Where I have the tools to help. So that, I think, is the ultimate goal. And in this video, I just kind of want to dive deeper into how I developed these values. And I really hope that you guys check out my other video on how to find your purpose and how this exercise fits into the bigger picture. And if you guys find value in this content, please like, please subscribe. That's my feedback to know if you guys enjoy this kind of content or if you are not finding value in this. So let me know if you want to keep going down this path with me. I would love to. I love this stuff. So I'll see you next time.